Hi there, I'm Lucy Thompson, and I want to share a story that completely changed my life at Smith & Partners. I'm a senior accounting analyst, yes, one of those people who love numbers and spreadsheets. I've been working here for 3 years, and I thought I knew exactly how my career would unfold. Well, I couldn't have been more wrong. It was just another Monday morning. I was at my desk, straightening my nameplate and sipping my coffee, black. 2 sugars, my morning ritual, when Sarah from HR's voice cut through the usual office buzz. Everyone, please welcome our new marketing manager, Peter Mitchell. That's when I saw him, tall, confident, with the kind of smile that makes you forget about your morning reports. He stood there in his perfectly fitted navy suit, holding a leather briefcase, looking like he'd stepped out of a business magazine. "Thank you, Sarah," he said, and something in his warm voice made me quickly look back at my computer screen when his eyes met mine. Was he looking at me a bit longer than necessary, or was that just my imagination? Fate has a funny way of playing tricks, because guess who got assigned to help him understand our financial reporting system? Yes, yours truly. The marketing department needs to submit monthly budget reports, I explained, trying to sound professional while being acutely aware of his presence as he leaned closer to look at my monitor. "I'm definitely going to need help with that," he chuckled. "Numbers aren't exactly my strong suit." Throughout the morning, I watched him charm everyone in the office. He remembered all their names, asked thoughtful questions, and somehow made our usual boring office talk sound interesting. Later that day, he stopped by my desk. "Coffee?" he asked. "I'm still trying to figure out where everything is around here." I hesitated for a moment. It was just being helpful to the new guy, right? What could possibly go wrong? That coffee break turned into a daily routine. Peter would stop by my desk every morning at 10:30, playfully tapping my nameplate with his finger. "Ready for a break, numbers queen?" He'd ask with that smile that was becoming dangerously familiar. During our coffee chats, I learned that he'd moved from Boston for this position, loved photography, and had a golden retriever named Max. He showed me pictures on his phone, and I caught myself studying his face more than the dog's. Something was definitely happening to my usually well-organized world. In team meetings, I started choosing seats that gave me a good view of him. The way he presented marketing plans made even me interested in advertising strategies. He had this habit of running his hand through his hair when he was thinking, and I embarrassingly realized I'd started counting how many times he did it per meeting. "Lucy, these projections are amazing," he said one day during a budget review, his shoulder brushing against mine as we looked at my laptop. "You make numbers tell such a clear story." The compliment shouldn't have made my heart race, but it did. My colleague Jenny from HR noticed the change in me. "You're wearing lipstick to budget meetings now?" she teased during lunch. I blamed it on a new self-care routine, but we both knew better. The thing about attraction is that it changes the smallest moments into memories. The way our hands would brush when he handed me coffee, how he'd lean in slightly closer than necessary when asking questions about reports, the little jokes about marketing versus accounting that became our private language. But I kept reminding myself, office romances are complicated. I had seen them go wrong before. Still, every morning at 10:30, my heart would beat a little faster at the sound of his footsteps approaching my desk. It happened during a late-night budget review. Everyone else had left the office, and Peter and I were the only ones still hunched over spreadsheets. The city lights twinkled outside our window, creating an oddly romantic atmosphere for financial planning. "We should take a break," Peter suggested, stretching in his chair. "Have you tried that new Italian place around the corner?" My heart skipped a beat. "Antonio's? No, I haven't." "Let's go now," he said, closing his laptop. "Unless you're married to these spreadsheets, that dinner changed everything." Outside the office, away from fluorescent lights and corporate policies, we were just Lucy and Peter. He told stories that made me laugh so hard my cheeks hurt, and the way he looked at me across the table made me forget all my rules about office relationships. From then on, we lived in two worlds. At work, we maintained a careful distance, communicating through subtle glances and seemingly casual conversations. But after hours, we'd meet at hidden-away restaurants or quiet coffee shops far from the office. "This is our little secret," Peter would whisper, his hand finding mine under the table during lunch meetings. The thrill of our hidden romance made even boring presentations exciting. We developed a secret language of subtle gestures. A coffee cup turned just so meant, "Meet me in the break room." A pen placed diagonally on my desk meant lunch today. But keeping secrets in an office is like trying to hide a book in a library. Someone's bound to find it eventually. I caught Sarah from HR giving us curious looks, and Jenny started making suspicious comments about my late-night budget reviews. Still, in those early days, the excitement of our secret romance overshadowed any worries. I should have known that in corporate life, secrets rarely stay secret for long. The first red flag appeared on a Tuesday. I was heading to Peter's floor to drop off some reports when I overheard Jessica from sales giggling near his office. "Thanks for the coffee this morning," she said in a tone that sounded far too familiar. "Same time tomorrow?" Something in my stomach twisted, but I brushed it off. After all, Peter was a friendly person. It was part of why I'd fallen for him. But then the little things started adding up. His emergency marketing meetings became more frequent, yet when I casually mentioned them to Tom from his team, he looked confused. "What meetings? We've barely seen Peter this week." One day, while waiting for him in our usual coffee spot, I saw him across the street, having lunch with Rachel from customer service. They sat close, laughing, his hand briefly touching hers, the same gestures he used with me. I ducked behind a menu, my coffee turning bitter in my mouth. Sarah from HR caught me staring at Peter's office one afternoon. "Lucy," she said hesitantly, "I probably shouldn't tell you this, but you're not the first person in this office to fall for Peter's charm." Before I could respond, she was called away, leaving me with a growing sense of dread. That evening, checking the budget reports, I noticed something odd. Coffee shop receipts submitted from various departments, all at different times, all signed by Peter. Each one was during times he'd told me he was in meetings. My hands shook as I stacked the reports. The numbers didn't lie, they never did. But I wasn't ready to face what they were telling me. Not yet. I wish I could say I was the one who exposed Peter's games, but the truth came out during a company-wide quarterly meeting. There we all were, sitting in the conference room, when Maria from design stood up during the Q&A session. "I have a question about workplace ethics," she said, her voice trembling. "Specifically about managers who date multiple employees simultaneously." The room went silent. I felt my heart stop as Peter shifted uncomfortably in his chair. Then Jessica from sales stood up. Then Rachel from customer service. One by one, 5 women from different departments rose. Each had a similar story: coffee breaks, secret lunches, stolen moments in the office. Each thought she was special. Each thought she was the only one. I remained seated, my face burning, as Sarah from HR quickly took control of the situation. "We'll address this immediately," she announced, leading Peter and the department heads to a private meeting room. Later that afternoon, an email announced Peter's immediate departure from the company. I sat at my desk, staring at my nameplate, the one he used to tap every morning, and finally let the tears fall. Jenny brought me coffee and sat quietly beside me. "You know what the worst part is?" I whispered. The numbers knew before I did. Those coffee receipts, the meeting times that didn't add up, it was all there in black and white. 2 weeks later, I was promoted to head of financial compliance. "Your attention to detail is exactly what we need," my manager said. "Sometimes the most painful lessons make us stronger." Now, when new employees join the company, I tell them my story, not to scare them, but to remind them that while numbers don't lie, people sometimes do. And that's a different kind of accounting altogether. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to leave a like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to our channel for more stories in English and lessons. Click the bell icon to be notified when we post new videos. Your support means a lot to us. See you next time.